So hi, my name's Claire Skinner and I'm a principal in a large financial services company in the UK. I started working way back in 1995. I'm part of the LGBT community, and in terms of feeling like a fish out of water, I was always kind of out at work, but only in a sort of soft way, in that I would bring my partner to work events, but I wouldn't kind of openly talk about being LGBT. The first time that I really had a significant event at work was at a client meeting when I was in my 20s, and the chair of the meeting said that he hoped that all gay people died of AIDS, which was obviously extremely upsetting. And I went back to work and talked to colleagues about it, and they were kind of sympathetic, but actually no real action was taken. And ironically, I found out later that my other colleague in the room was also LGBT. So a couple of years passed, and again, the colleagues knew that I had a female partner. They got a little bit confused about when I got pregnant. And again, in terms of feeling like a fish out of water, I got some quite intrusive questions about how I'd got pregnant. And also actually a number of colleagues saying that they didn't think it was right for people in the LGBT community to have children. And again, this was in the early 2000s. So about 10 years ago, I actually left the financial services industry and trained to be a teacher. And again, two sort of significant instances when I was a teacher, again, feeling like a fish out of water. One was when I was training to be a teacher and in the playground, and a number of my pupils kind of surrounded me in the playground, and I was, carrying a load of maths books, and it was quite intimidating, and they were asking me straight up whether I was gay or not, and I didn't know how to answer. And actually, I was kind of saved by one of the pupils that I taught, who said, "Oh, they can't be gay because they've got a child," which was nice, but obviously not true. And then the second one, in a way, was worse, because it was a group of children who were my form group when I was actually qualified as a teacher. So a group of children that I saw twice a day, and felt like I had a good relationship with. And one of those pupils was asking me why I had short hair, and it was very obvious what they were getting at. And again, I didn't know how to respond, and I felt like a really poor role model for all of the other pupils who were in that group. And then, perhaps not surprisingly, I left teaching and again went back to the financial services industry. And at that point, I decided that actually I wanted to be a kind of LGBT role model. I wanted to be somebody who was kind of properly out, if you like, at work. And that's not my kind of natural stance. I'm quite an introverted person, but I think that those role models are really key. And this is, 5 or 6 years ago, and I've been very sort of prominent since then. But even then, I have had some instances of feeling like a fish out of water. And in particular, a couple of years ago, in a meeting, a client meeting, where the chair of trustees again made a sort of homophobic joke, relatively benign, but nevertheless clearly homophobic. And again, I was in that position of not knowing how to deal with it, and feeling that, here's me as a kind of out role model, and I still didn't know how to deal with that. And I ended up leaving the room, and actually a couple of colleagues did challenge the individual afterwards. And I thought about, well, what can I do on the back of that? And actually, one of the things I sort of thought about my teaching experiences, and with teaching, it's really about not getting to the point where you've got issues around behaviour. And one of the things that we did do as a result of that is introduce our Pride badges, which are enamel badges that you can wear, and a bit like a Blue Peter badge. The idea is that you have to kind of earn the badge, and it's there as a symbol to show that you support equality. And I'm really pleased to say that lots of people in the industry wear similar badges and branding, and I think they're so important to support other individuals who might be in that similar position. And I'm very pleased to say that I haven't had any instances over the last couple of years, which would again make me feel like a fish out of water, and I feel very supported by my colleagues and company.